3 years into our relationship, Eva and I were the couple everyone admired. Our friends often commented on how well we complemented each other, and I started to believe it too. She was beautiful, intelligent, and had a vibrant, fiery personality that kept me intrigued. We had talked about marriage countless times, imagining a future filled with love, children, and growing old together. I thought I had found the person I was meant to spend my life with, but life has a way of surprising you. One Friday evening, I finished work early, eager to surprise Eva with her favorite sushi and a bottle of her favorite wine. Both of us had been busy lately, so I thought a quiet evening together would be the perfect way to reconnect. When I pulled into the driveway of our shared apartment, I noticed her car already parked outside. Something felt off. The living room lights were off, and the apartment was unusually quiet. I carried the food and wine inside and called out, "Eva, I'm home." There was no response. As I set the bags on the kitchen counter, I saw her shoes by the door, the same ones she wore when going out. Her purse was casually draped over the couch. She was definitely home. Then I heard it, a muffled laugh from the bedroom. My stomach dropped, and a feeling of dread swept over me. I moved slowly toward the bedroom, each step heavier than the last. Another laugh followed, accompanied by a man's voice. My heart began to race, pounding so loudly that I could barely hear my own thoughts. I cracked the bedroom door open just enough to see inside, and there she was. Eva, the woman I had imagined marrying, was in our bed with another man. I froze, my mind scrambling to process what I was seeing. My first instinct was to burst in, shout, and demand an explanation, but instead I stepped back, quietly closed the door, and walked into the living room. I sat down on the couch, staring blankly at the wall, trying to comprehend the betrayal that had just unfolded before me. A few minutes later, Eva appeared, her voice casual, as though nothing had happened. "Oh, you're home," she said. I turned to see her standing there in a robe, her hair messy. She didn't look guilty or ashamed. Instead, she looked irritated, as if my presence was an inconvenience. "We need to talk," I said, keeping my voice steady despite the storm of emotions brewing inside me. She crossed her arms and leaned against the doorway. "About what?" she asked offensively. I gestured toward the bedroom. "About what I just saw." She rolled her eyes and sighed dramatically, as though I was being unreasonable. "Abel, look," she snapped, her voice sharp. "It's my body. I can sleep with whoever I want. Until we're married, I'm still free." Her words hit me like a punch to the gut. I stared at her, hoping for some sign of regret or remorse, but she stood there unapologetic and almost smug. "Are you serious?" I asked, my voice barely a whisper. "Yes," she replied, her tone sharp and unwavering. "You're overreacting. We're not married yet, so I don't owe you anything. This is my life, and I'll live it how I want." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. This was the woman I had planned to marry, the woman I thought I'd spend the rest of my life with. And now, she was standing before me, justifying her betrayal as if it were completely normal. "You've been pushing me to marry you," I said, my voice calm but cold. "But how can I marry someone who cheats on me?" She shrugged, her expression indifferent. "Marriage changes everything. This wouldn't happen if we were married." Her logic was so twisted and lacking in accountability that I was left speechless. Did she truly believe a ring and a piece of paper would somehow erase her lack of respect for me and our relationship? I stood up, grabbed my keys, and looked her straight in the eye. "I can't do this, Eva. I deserve better." Her eyes widened, as if she hadn't expected me to actually leave. "Wait," she said, her tone softening for the first time. "You're really going to throw this all away over one mistake." "One mistake," I repeated, shaking my head. "This wasn't a mistake. A mistake is something you regret. You don't regret this. You've made that clear." She didn't respond. She just stood there, watching as I walked out the door. As I drove away, a strange sense of calm washed over me. Yes, I was heartbroken, and yes, I was angry, but more than anything, I felt free. Free from the lies, the manipulation, and the disrespect. I didn't go back. I left the apartment to her, blocked her number, and started fresh. It wasn't easy. For weeks, I wrestled with my emotions, questioning if I had done the right thing. But deep down, I knew I had. Months later, I heard through mutual friends that she was still waiting for me to come to my senses, still convinced I would cave and come crawling back. What she didn't understand was that by walking away, I had found my strength. Leaving wasn't just about ending the relationship. It was about choosing myself. And I'd do it again in a heartbeat.